Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Saturday, June 25th, and this is the MLB DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be doing a quick little recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about my core plays for the FanDuel main slate for today. It is a 6-game main slate overall, and then going over to my article over at WeBetATS.com and talking about my top GPP stacks for today. But without further ado, we'll get started with the recap of yesterday's picks. Yesterday at the pitcher position, we went with Mackenzie Gore, kind of the pay down option at $8,000. He got 27 points, so I did give him a push. The biggest thing with him is he only pitched 5 innings and he got to 97 pitches, so that was kind of his detriment there. If he pitches a clean 6th inning, he gets the quality start, so that's an extra 4 points. Gets 3 outs, so that's an extra 3 points. And they actually did take the lead in the 6th inning, so he probably would have got the win as well. So we would have been looking at about 13 extra points. Puts him at 40, would have been a good play yesterday. Just kind of unfortunate that did not end up happening. Then at first base, we had TJ Crone, $4,100. Just got to 3 points, so he's a mess yesterday. Not the best day for him all around. Dylan Bundy did pitch a little bit better than we did expect as well. Then at shortstop, we had Bo Bichette, $3,100. Seemed like a pretty good value at that price tag. He got 0 points yesterday, 0 for 5. He was a miss. I was right about the Blue Jays scoring a lot of runs yesterday. It just didn't happen for Bo Bichette. And then we had Nolan Arenado at $3,600. Got 0 points. He was a mess, 0 for 4. Kyle Hendricks kind of went back in the time machine and actually pitched well yesterday, which was kind of a surprise to a lot of people. And then last but not least, we had Josh Naylor at $3,200. He got 3 points, so he was a push. Just not the best day for him either. So overall, just not the greatest day. Obviously, you're going to have that every once in a while with MLB DFS, but the best thing about it is we're right back the very next day. So we'll be talking about some core picks for today as well. And as I mentioned, it's a very small MLB DFS slate. There's a couple of different pitchers you can look at, but pretty much the safest one in my mind today is going to be Logan Webb, $9,600, averaging about 33 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the Cincinnati Reds. He doesn't have a ton of history versus them, but the history that he does have against these Reds hitters is pretty good overall. So not too expensive price at $9,600. Does offer some upside. The strikeout upside might not be as high as some of the other pitchers on the slate, but in terms of a safe pitcher, Logan Webb's going to be it for me today. Then at first base, we're going to go with Eric Hosmer at $2,800, averaging over 8.5 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the Philadelphia Phillies and Zach Eflin today. Zach Eflin is one of those pitchers, he's very, very hit or miss. So he's either going to pitch well or he's going to give up a lot of runs. He's also dealing with an injury at this point in time, so it's kind of unknown how far he's actually going to pitch into this game, how effective he's going to be overall. But definitely do have some interest in Eric Hosmer today. He's 5 for 9 versus Eflin in his career. Then we move down to second base with Javier Baez, $3,100, averaging just over 7.5 fantasy points per game on the season. Obviously had a very, very slow start to the season, but starting to turn it on a little bit as of late. Goes against the Arizona Diamondbacks and Zach Davies today. He's 10 for 33 with 1 home run versus Zach Davies in his career, so definitely could be some upside there today. Then at shortstop, we have Trey Turner, $3,900, averaging over 12.5 fantasy points per game on the season. Going against the Atlanta Braves and Max Fried today is 8 for 24 with 1 home run versus Max Fried in his career, and Trey Turner has been swinging the bat pretty hot as of late, so definitely love the upside there with him. And then last but not least, we're going to my buddy in the outfield, Austin Slater, $2,600. He's averaging just under 7 fantasy points per game on the season. Obviously, a little bit skewed since he's a part-time player. Doesn't always start, but he typically does against left-handed pitching and typically leads off in that situation. Goes against Mike Minor today. Not the best numbers versus Mike Minor in his career. He's only 1 for 7, but like I mentioned, Austin Slater typically does hit left-handed pitching very well. Pay down option here, and somebody I want to take advantage of on today's slate overall. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here, you have $13,000 remaining, just over $3,200 per player. So the potential to pay up for maybe 1 batter, potentially 2 if you can find some other cheap value plays as well. Or if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach, that's definitely something that could be viable on the smaller slate as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to my article over at WeBetATS.com and talk about my top GPP stacks for today. So the ones that we're going to talk about today are the Atlanta Braves going against Mitch White of the Dodgers. Very, very small sample size versus him. Some of these guys have a hit off him, but most of them only have 1 at bat against Mitch White overall. So definitely could be some upside there. It's also important to note that he has not started a game since June 7th, so could be a little bit rusty as well. Then we have the Rockies going against the Twins and Chris Archer. Chris Archer is a guy that he's pitching a little bit better as of late this year, but he's not pitching deep in the game, so you're either going to get him or the bullpen. Could be a little bit of an advantageous spot for this Rockies team overall. Then we have the Padres going against Zach Eflin. Already talked about Eflin quite a bit. Some of these hitters have good history versus him. He's kind of a hit or miss pitcher. He's either going to pitch really well or pretty poorly. and he's dealing with an injury right now, so we're not sure how far he's going to pitch into the game or how effective he'll be overall. Then we have the Dodgers on the opposite end of that game going against Max Fried. A lot of these Dodgers hitters have hit him pretty well in the past, so would not be surprised if that happens again. But also would not be too surprised if Max Fried comes out and pitches very well. Then last but not least, we have the Minnesota Twins. This was like the fifth one, and it's like maybe I'll put on there, maybe I won't. They're going against Antonio Senzatella, a guy that pitches to a lot of contact, throws a lot of sinkers. If that sinker's not sinking too well, could be giving up some hits and some runs, but he's been pitching a little bit better as of late as well. But with that being said, these are my core 5 picks as well as top GPP stacks for today, June 25th. As always, if you have any questions related to MLB DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's someone from my core 5 picks, whether it's someone from my top GPP stacks. Pretty good chance it's going to be somebody for one of those two things since it is a smaller slate overall. But if there is somebody else that you like that I did not cover, please be sure to let me know as well. Definitely interested in hearing what you guys have to say. But with that being said, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, mainly MLB at this point in time. But once we get back around to the NFL and NBA regular seasons, I'll be covering those two sports as well. And then with that being said, if you are a newer current subscriber who's yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily MLB DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.